Hey there everybody, and welcome back to Game Highs. I'm your host John 2.0, here to deliver top-notch gaming content ranging from retro to up-and-coming and indie to AAA. So let's get it. Now what do you do when you catch one of these bad boys hurtling its way towards you? I mean, you got a few options, right? The most obvious thing to do is to jump straight over it. You could also block, which would result in a slight bit of chip damage, but keep you safe from any anti-airs the opponent might set up. And finally, you have the counter. Maybe you shoot a fireball of your own, cancel out the incoming Hadouken. Maybe use Zangief's Lariat attack to strategically move yourself through. I'm pretty sure we can all handle a fireball or two, but what do you do when you see this? No, this is not a glitch. No, this is not a cheat code. This is Street Fighter II Rainbow Edition. Now, this ROM hack has some serious history behind it. Back in the mid-90s, when arcades were still a thing, any arcade owner knew one thing for sure. You needed to have Street Fighter II. The popularity of the series was untouched, and everybody and their mother was saying the word Hadouken. So in the mad scramble for American arcade owners to get their hands on one of these bad boys, something became very clear very fast. There was just not enough supply to keep up with the demand of these machines. And because of this, the prices were also very high for one. And just like any other major hot commodity item out there, money-hungry imposters were ready to make a quick buck. A company by the name of Hung Shi Enterprise, located in Taiwan, began to distribute one of the most overt gaming piracies of all time. The arcade cabinets created by Capcom were very easily modified by just popping out the chipsets on the boards and replacing them on the fly, without the need of soldering. The ease of doing so, combined with the cheaper price point, made it actually more plausible for unbeknownst or non-suspecting business owners to end up with one of these bootleg cabinets. Now, anybody who may have stumbled across this version of the game will have definitely noticed something is a bit off here. More like a lot off. A lot. But back then there was no internet, and your standard individual's understanding of this topic was so limited, only rumors of a mystical broken version of Street Fighter was ever even whispered amongst the die-hard fans. But lo and behold, even I ran into what was essentially my first ever ROM hack. I was too young to remember exactly when, but I do exactly remember where. In Linden, New Jersey, there is a little strip mall on the corner of St. George's Avenue and Style Street. Here's where my father and his brothers would go to a small billiards to play pool. At the time, there was also a Blockbusters here, and I would love to go check out the Super Nintendo and Sega Genesis game catalogs. I mean, you guys remember Blockbusters, right? Oh no, the ground's shaking. We're falling off topic here. So back to the billiards. Obviously, it was full of dudes wearing leather jackets, women wearing leather pants, secondhand smoke everywhere. It was your perfect early 90s environment.
Perfect.
My dad would play pool and leave me and my brother with a fistful of quarters at their mini arcade, and it's here where I remember seeing that rainbow-colored title screen. I knew none the better as I began to play maybe 2 rounds of this ridiculous broken game. After some time, a different group of kids showed up and asked if they can play too. I remember letting them go ahead, getting behind them so maybe I can learn a thing or two by watching them. But as I watched the screen, I began to see some of the craziest shit I've ever witnessed. Mind you, I'm maybe 5 years old at the time, so I actually believed I was watching super high-level gameplay. They were shooting Hadoukens in mid-air, multiple sonic booms at a time, tagging in characters they didn't even pick. Were these kids fighting game masters? Did they know cheat codes or something that I didn't? I remember going back home and turning on my own copy of Street Fighter II for Super Nintendo, and I tried to replicate what I saw to no avail. Like a caveman on the wall painting aliens, I had no real explanation for what I just saw. All I remembered was that colorful Street Fighter II logo. And this was specifically because the one I had for Super Nintendo was pink and yellow. Mind you, I had the Turbo Edition, and this is the real kicker. Street Fighter Turbo Edition was Capcom's answer to the counterfeits. Apparently, people were finding the bootleg version of the game more addicting than the vanilla version, specifically the speed increase. Street Fighter II Champion Edition was given a 25% speed increase in Rainbow Edition. That speed increase made the vanilla version feel incredibly slow and sluggish when going back to it after playing Rainbow. Capcom most likely made these new changes to discourage the fake copies of this Rainbow Edition from gaining any more ground on their IP. But in reality, it was because of this knockoff edition of Street Fighter that shapes the way we play fighting games today. It was an important fuck-up in gaming history. I was actually able to obtain a copy of Rainbow Edition with my superior gaming knowledge, and let's figure out what my 5-year-old self couldn't do.
Alright, we got some Street Fighter II Rainbow Edition. Let's see what all the fuss was about back in the days. Notice that oddly colored Street Fighter logo. And kinda doesn't even matter who we're gonna pick here, so let's just start with Ryu. So everything looks good until you start doing things like this. Yeah, I could just sit up there for the entire match if I felt like it, and consecutively pull those Hadoukens off to no end. And you'll notice that Blanca has changed characters several times. I could do the same. So we're going to do that now. We're going to swap over, switch it up here. You'll see some more tomfoolery, some Guile. So his cooldown for the Sonic Boom is literally 1 second inputs. And if you know what you're doing, you can just, you know, yeah. It's kind of awe-inspiring, but at the same time, it's disgusting. I'm actually disgusted that someone can pull something like this off. Imagine you put 50 cents into a machine, and you ran into a guy who's like, bro, I'm gonna shoot 400 Sonic Booms right into your face, just like this. That is just ridiculous. You can do air Shoryukens like that, just, you can't do that, you're not supposed to do that. Maybe in Alpha, maybe when they started doing Marvel vs. Capcom 2, cancels and all that. But mind you, this was in the early 90s. You were not meant to do stuff of that nature. That was game breaking. Look at that. That's ridiculous. And he thinks going Balrog's gonna save his ass. Go to sleep, my guy. Ridiculous. Once again, amazed and disgusted at the same time. Try it out for yourself. It's just kind of, you know, it's more experimental than anything. But super cool, major, great part of history. Glad I got to check it out.
And now for the fighting game that needs no introduction. Ladies and gentlemen, I bring to you
Super Smash Brothers!
But I ain't talking about that new. No sirree, Bob. We're going back into time and we are playing Super Smash Brothers 1. That's right, we have an updated version of the original N64 Smash Brothers. It's a mod similar to the Project M mod, which is essentially melee mechanics for Brawl, with an updated roster and new stages. This mod essentially runs N64-styled gameplay on a mod that runs GameCube-styled gameplay for a Dolphin emulator running the Wii. How the As complicated as it sounds, it wasn't too hard to get going. I mean, I couldn't find a legit ISO anywhere, so I had to find an NKit ISO. But NKit ISOs tend not to run well for these mods, so my alternative was going with a WBFS ISO file. But one of the Discord moderators on the project told me he wasn't sure if that was going to work either, and suggested I just get a real raw ISO file. And after Googling my ass off for like, I don't know, 3 hours, I could find it nearly impossible to find a non-sketchy ISO. So what I ended up doing was I took the NKit ISO I had and converted it into a raw ISO file using NKit Processor app. Once that was good to go, all I had to do was get Dolphin to load the Brawl file, set it as the default ISO, but run the elf boot file on top. Wow, sounds so easy, right? Yeah, no, these guys need to get a better netplay build, but anyway, let's take a look at this mod for the game that started it all. Yeah, so this was not fun to set up. You'll see here you have to have the default ISO set and then run the elf file. Okay, all right, you know what time it is, boys and girls. It's time for Smash 1 coming in hot. Hey, let's get it. Oh yeah, look at those polygons. Authentic AF, boys and girls. Classic, look at this. I like how they have versus mode above one player mode. I like how they have all-star here. The vault chillin', okay. Automatic 4-stock. These boys ain't playing around, and look at that roster though. Oh. Look at these fat boys. Look at these fat boys here. Oh, I'm gonna have to go with my boy Toad though. He's just winking at me. And because I caught one of these fat boys first, let's go with this fat boy right here. Thinking that roster though, looks like a baby melee roster. Oh yes, look at that. Oh, stages galore, people. Shadow Moses. I'm gonna have to be biased and go with my favorite stage though, as a child, and that would have been Hyrule Castle, boys. Whoa. Oh, Toad's fast. My guy moves quick. Whoa. Okay, I'm digging this. They definitely captured the good feel of the N64 here. It definitely feels like I'm playing N64 Smash. Definitely awkward seeing Wario there. Okay, I'm messing with Toad. Oh. Oh, he's got a pow. Oh, he won't even let me try to use it. Oh, wow. Wario mad now. Wario's mad at me, boys. Daddy Mustache is angry. Go to sleep, boy! Yeah, Toad's a savage. Oh wow, it works on different levels. Oh, it's got radishes too!
Game set.
Oh, this is wild. Yeah, not bad. Not bad. I'm digging it. Very impressed. Feels good. Check out the Smash 1 official page. Glad I checked it out. But yeah, good stuff. Smash 1.
Ooh, baby, do we got a banger right here. This right here. This right here, this is the definition of nostalgia. It was baby's first RPG. It was my first RPG, and I loved it. Little did I know how much impact this game would have on my life. One thing I did know, there was nothing else like it. The visual aesthetics, the magnificent soundtrack, the charming storyline, the lovable characters. For its time, it was a masterpiece and still ages wonderfully to this day. I find myself going back to this game time after time just to relive those fond memories I had as a child when it captured my heart and soul. Mwah, mwah, mwah. Chef kisses everywhere. So when I saw this ROM hack available, I cannot believe how long it's eluded my grasp. This hack apparently came out in 2011, and almost every year it gets an update, which is currently on version 9. And holy shit, am I impressed. So the game offers 2 difficulty settings for newcomers and veterans alike. Either one you pick, it's still going to be much harder than you remember. Character stats have been overhauled, including the enemies, and combat is much more engaging than ever before. The timing input system that became the game's bread and butter has also radically been redone. 2 inputs are now required when attacking standardly to give you maximum damage output, whereas only 1 is needed when receiving an attack. This ROM's increased difficulty, though, makes achieving said inputs much harder to pull off, especially when it comes to blocking. There will be a lot of trial and error needed when fighting a new foe, even if you fought them before in the past. Their timing inputs unpredictable, and sometimes not even blockable at all. New enemies will make an appearance, extra story content, a boss rush mode, and increased level caps will make this ROM hack's experience feel fresh and keep you on your toes constantly. I'm having a blast playing through this game again, and I cannot commend the devs enough for such an amazing job. Well done, boys. A round of applause from all of us over here at Game Highs. You make Daddy so proud. And that'll do it for us over here at Game Highs. I want to thank you guys for tuning in. Be sure to look forward to more gaming content, news, and gameplay. Click that like and subscribe button if you get a chance. My name is John 2.0, and I will catch you guys next time.